Sugar cane. Sugar, sugar. Sometimes. Well, all right. Say, girl. Say, girl, you ain't never met a player like me, baby, man. Let me spit to you.
Yes, y'all. What it do? Welcome to another episode of Outlaw Radio on a hump day. Funny as fuck. Hey, we gonna get it in tonight. Welcome to the show. It's your man 50 Grand, Kevin Barnes, the mouthpiece of the movement, the militant with a microphone, aka the hip hop snob, also known in some circles as the Negro Whisperer. I got my own sound effects. Man, I'm gonna have a good time. Y'all know I love comedy. And we're gonna have a good time. I got my partner with me, man, my co-conspirator, Mr. Carter. What's popping with you, bro?
What's happening? How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk, raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, the healer, the ghetto witch doctor, raising vibrations and elevating thought. I'm the coach, Mr. Kamal Carter. Peace to the family. I'm also the one who brings you nature, nature, urban supplements, and vitality and Meatless Mondays. Make sure you show up.
On some veganism, right? This boy
yes.
And he promotes that holistic lifestyle. Now, listen.
Wonderful.
Always promote anything positive or progressive in the community. 414 strong all day long, man. I'm a native North Sidian. I just made up a word, native North Sidian. Copywritten, right? But man, I have a very esteemed guest here tonight, and I'm very happy to have her here. I've been trying to get this to happen for a minute, so I'm glad she's here. My sister, tell these people who you are and what you do.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome, and gentlemen, you are fantastic from the get-go. Thank you, gentlemen, for having me off the top. I am thoroughly impressed in these 35 seconds that we've been on air. 2 minutes we've been on air. Y'all are awesome. Off the top. I'm Chastity Washington, comedian, writer, actress, and dancer. Thank you for having me and bearing with me as we tried to book this for 3 years. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. I seen this sister years back, man, and we've been doing this for 7 years. I've been doing this for 7 years, so, and I always love comedy, and I love black comedy, right? Like, I think a lot of black comics are like really borderline geniuses. Mm-hmm. So I've always tried to reach out and try to have, that on the show, because we talk about a lot of serious stuff. We're on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So we'll do Outlaw Radio on Mondays. Wednesdays, Tuesdays, I do the Big Black Sports Show. And then Thursday, I usually wild out and do Outlaw Nation. So we do a lot of serious stuff, and we talk about a lot of real socioeconomic topics, but we got to have fun sometimes. So I like to have comics, and I like to have somebody who's representing Milwaukee the way you represent Milwaukee. Let me give it up to you. We're gonna show some of your stand up tonight.
Yeah.
I named the show Funny as Fuck for a reason, right? You are funny. So welcome to the
Thank
show.
you.
I'm glad we finally made it happen. So we're going to get into that, man. Shout out to Big Rail, who will probably be joining us, and my sister Courtney may come in. So if y'all see people pop on the screen, don't be alarmed. It's just more Negroes. But, like I said, man, tune in. And see, we do the show 4 days in a row. I do a show 4 days in a row. I fully don't expect you to tune into all 4. Just listen to 1 or 2, because then I know you're going to listen to the other 2. Then I got you.
Mm-hmm.
But support us, man. We got to write our own narratives. The purpose of this is all done and executed in the spirit of do for self. We believe that we build up everybody else's networks except our own, right? Like, I could watch ESPN, which I do, but I rather talk shit about sports myself. Black people love talking about sports. Brothers love to argue about sports, right? And sports has a very special place in our society, and so just tune in Tuesdays. You hear us talk about that. I see some other sports shows popping up. I ain't mad at y'all. Do y'all thing. But tonight, man, it's all about my sister, Miss Washington. I want to get into it. I ain't gonna waste the people's time. You're a comedian. We're gonna talk about, first of all, where you from?
Right here in Milwaukee, 35th
Okay.
and Center.
North side, right? Okay.
North. What did you call it? North Sideend? Is that what
North
you said?
Sideend. North
Yeah,
Sideend.
North Sideend. Yes, same here. Same here.
Okay.
Same cup. Yes.
That's another reason that we got you on the show. What up, Rail? You good? We got the sister, Miss Chastity Washington, in the
Hello.
building.
Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm good.
How are you?
Man. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Man, I clicked on the wrong link. I thought I clicked on the right one, and I went in and said ended. I was like, wait. So I had to go back.
Is
and
it
double
over?
back. Right. Thought I missed the memo.
That MPS education serving you well, I see.
Oh.
Hey, it's funny too, because I went to the cream of the crowd. I went to Samuel Morris, then Rufus King.
Nice. when it was Morris. Yes.
When it was Dr. Rogers Onick, my homie.
Oh my goodness. Hey girl. Hey Rogers. I'm a former school teacher. I'm a former MPS teacher. Don't get me started.
Me too. Right
hey,
here.
It's all good. He was at all my family functions. He was my uncle's friend. So, I knew Rogers for a long time.
Hell of a principal, different kind of dude. That's all I'm gonna put on that. But okay, so comedy. Welcome to the show, Real.
Thank you.
Sister, what did you say? Little black girl in the hood on 35th and Center. What made you say I want to be a comedian?
It found me. I mean, I was the class clown. I was, the class clown that didn't get in trouble. Let me put it that way. I was the one that was sneak around the room and quietly giggle at different tables and get back to my seat before the teacher turned around, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I'm the one to chew on a couple crayons and take off and didn't nobody see it. You know what I mean? So that was me at school. That was, characters and doing commercials and reenacting stuff off TV and whatever. So I didn't think anything of it. People would say it to me in middle school and high school. And then by the time I got to college, when I first started at University of Wisconsin Parkside, my best friend signed me up for a talent show, and that was many, many, many years ago. So that was my first set, and been doing stand-up ever since. So it found me, really. You know what I mean? It found me.
Shout out to your friend.
Real talk. Best friend, Sabrina. Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm like, I throw this. I got so much, man. I got to calm down, take a deep woosah, right? So I'm assuming you grew up around the time that I did in Milwaukee. And you talk about being on 35th and Center, and Milwaukee was pretty bleak. We all know, especially on the north side during them times, Milwaukee was, I assume, in the midst of the crack epidemic, because that's really my formative years from about 10 to 25. Mm-hmm. That's the Milwaukee I grew up in. So what made you draw humor out of it? Like, you looking around, it ain't much funny shit going on 35th Center.
Well, it really was, though. I mean, like, I got to see, and I might be some years older than you gentlemen, but I watched the transition. From the late 70s into the early 80s, into the mid 80s, into the 90s. So I saw the transition. I saw how crack changed the neighborhood, and how the neighborhood changed, and who moved in and who moved out, and you knew what was where the women were, and you knew where the powder was, and you knew what this was, and then as that changed, everything changed, right? And the families changed, and the structures changed, and so I got to witness all of that, if that makes sense. So a lot of it was funny. That me and my neighbor beat the brakes off each other every Saturday. You know what I'm talking about? This nigga beat the brakes off me.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I think one of the things about black people is, like, we take all that stuff and we can find humor in it.
Right, right.
A lot of our comedy is rooted in pain.
Right.
Yeah, that is the therapy of it.
Yeah.
How else am I going at 8 years old? I watched my mama beat the brakes off our neighbor with 2 bags of dope in her hand. You know what I'm talking about? She beat shit out of our neighbor, Miss Della. 2 bags of dope. She's like, Chance, call James. I was like, where am I calling? This before cell phones. This before I didn't know where James was. She's Chance, call James. They trying to steal my dope. I'm like, you ain't got on no drawers. What I'm supposed to do? I'm 8 and I'm hanging out my window and she is beating the shit out of our neighbor, my babysitter. You know,
back kids, you mess around and call James the line busy.
Want it.
James? Who's James?
Want it. Where is James? Call James' mama house. You always had to call somebody mama house,
right?
To find them.
Kitchen phone.
You know,
yeah, with the long cord. Come on.
Yeah,
it's funny.
It was yellow. It was always yellow.
Yeah, right straight up, dirty. It was dirty
Wasn't
yellow.
it? Greasy. Wasn't the handle greasy? The bottom part cut your chin. Wouldn't it cut your chin? Because you didn't broke it. You didn't slammed it down so many times.
And you know what? My mama, not for nothing, my mama beat our neighbor's ass with a belt, right? Like, so it was one of my dreams. My mother literally came out and we got sued for like 7 years. They got like $15. But you know, but you know, so I'm saying, yeah, a lot of okay, so I feel you on that, because even with the sadness of the crack epidemic and its onset into Milwaukee,
right.
And I'm old enough to remember the 70s. I remember when we had the highest standard of living in the country for Black people. Cadillacs, ass Lincolns everywhere. You know, old men with church pants pulled up, silk socks on, and shit, with hats on, listening to BB King.
Yep.
So I remember that, and then I seen the transition as well. So, but there was humor in some of the behavior, and somehow, like how the Dolphins introduced a whole new set of behaviors. Like Dolphins changed the game. Like it was all
comedy, all that. Dolphins changed the whole comedy scene, right?
Yeah.
Dolphin back in them days would come to you and be like, "Boy, you didn't know I used to take tap dance," and that some bitch would go to tap dance and they'd be like, "Like, did this dude just tap dance for $5?" Like it was
fuck around and
right. Exactly. How you get somebody to move your whole house for $8?
Oh my God.
They'll move your whole house. Somebody clean your house, basement to top.
Man, I had it.
Rearrange your furniture.
My
$10.
They also steal all the shit out your house.
Sure would. Next day.
Move your ass and come back and steal all that shit and sell it.
Yes.
Ain't that my coat? No,
yes.
Man, I had them cleaning out my kennels, doing all the dirty work, man.
Yep. And we took advantage of it.
We did. Yeah,
took advantage of it.
But like I say, you know what I mean? And even you look at the comedians, you know what I mean? When even a lot of the comedians that was going around during that time, it created new material for them. Again, comedy rooted in our pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we live in a so first of all, I gotta ask you, how long you actually been doing it, like for like what you do? Like
this is my 27th year.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
27 years.
Yeah.
That's what's up. No wonder you so damn funny. Okay, and so now I've talked about this many times. Like my favorite form of comedy is social commentary, because I can go all the way back to like when I, Dick Gregory, and from all of like that kind of thing, in which when we talk about the realities of society and how Black people have to deal with certain things, it is actually funny, right? Like, so that's my favorite kind of comedy. What's your, like when you said I want to model myself in this style, this my style, right? Like what's your style?
It really, I'm not just like where it's one thing or however. For me, I am a storyteller. I'm a physical comedian. I'm a one-liners. I do impressions. I don't have just where I'm just this thing. You know what I mean? I'm not very political, but where I can twist it in, I will twist it in and put it in, and you won't even know it's there. So yeah. So I can't say it's just I'm just in this lane or that thing.
So did you see somebody, because I know back in the days I used to listen to Hot 102 WLUM.
Yeah, WLUM. Yes, sir.
I used to listen to those DJs. I remember being a little kid sitting there saying, that's what I want to do when I grow up. That's got to be the
Yeah.
coolest job in the world. I knew from that point on. That's why when I went to college, it was like I already knew what I was going. They didn't have to ask me what's your major. It's like I already done told y'all. That shit was wrote all
Yeah.
over. So,
Right.
but so
Right.
who did you see that you said, you know what? I want to do that. I want to do exactly what he or she is doing. What comedian stood out for you?
Well, I had a lot of influences, but the first person that I really, really looked at and I said, I want to do that. I can see was Whoopi Goldberg on Broadway, live on Broadway in '85.
Okay.
And I remember I memorized the entire show. And I remember doing the characters the next day at school, you know, tippy pause, right? I'm doing at each one, right? And I love stand up. Like I said, I didn't pursue stand up. Stand up found me. But I loved stand up when I was a kid. Like I would literally sneak and watch Richard Pryor. I remember watching his live on Sunset Strip and on HBO, and I loved Eddie Murphy, and I memorized Delirious. I loved Bill Cosby himself. That was one of even amidst of all of his controversy, that is one of the greatest stand-up specials ever done. I love stand-up. I even loved stuff that the old black and white films. I love the Marx Brothers. Lucille Ball, Lily Tomlin.
Right.
So I was just really like stuff that was just funny. I love stuff that was funny, and that probably was a clue. I didn't know that then, but you know what I mean.
Any cool though?
Yeah.
Any cool? Our generation, we got to grow up watching a lot of what they would consider classic stuff on TV that was in syndication. Like I remember watching the Dick Van Dyke Show as a little kid, and even though this is super white, and nobody looks like me, but some of the shit he used to do, which is like you talk about physical comedy,
hilarious.
Yeah. So we did get blessed in that regard, being able. And then by the time I really was able to, say shoot, fly, shoot, here comes Eddie Murphy. Here comes, and I was really fortunate because I was a teenager during the Def Comedy Jam explosion. And that's when black comedy really got to put it down. Like all of a sudden you seen brothers getting TV shows, the albums. Man, it's so many. I watched Def Jam 25 and I said, man, like I was so busy living it, I didn't really take the time to think about like most of these cats you about to see on here. I mean, Chappelle, Bernie Mac, like and this was just the scope of what was going on in our culture. So I
absolutely, and I was blessed, Kevin, to do Def Jam in 07. And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. To be in the room with all of the vets, to be in the room with J. Anthony Brown and Michael Collier, and to get and sit and talk, with Mr. Simmons. It was an amazing experience. It was an amazing experience, and looking at they shaped the culture, and they shaped the culture. It was lit. And then the thing about Def Jam, and I tell people this all the time, just like with In Living Color, certain things are lightning in a bottle. It's lightning in a bottle. It's the moment. It's the people. It's a culmination of what is happening right at that time. And you couldn't have had a better host. Nobody else was supposed to do that but Martin Lawrence. Every single person that, I don't care if it was Bernie Mac or Ricky Harris or Steve Harvey or Cedric, Bill Bellamy, every single person, it was designed, it was set up that way. God lays things out the way it's supposed to. Monique, everybody that was, it was lightning in a bottle. Adele Givens,
we were ready though, and that's why I say
absolutely.
Hip hop and comedy goes hand in hand, because I feel like, with that style of comedy, that particular part of comedy, I know black comedy was around. I don't want to disrespect Moms Mabley and all these, those people came before Red Fox. When hip hop opened everybody up to black culture, if it didn't do anything else, and white people said, "Oh my gosh, we want to see this, we want to hear this. So the comedy like an extension, because it was really, I always say rap music was just like, for me, Richard Pryor records put to music, right? Because I had already heard, and my mother was a world-class cusser, so
Okay.
I already was familiar with all that. So we got a caller.
Yeah.
Let me bring the caller in. He walked the great. What's popping with you, homie?
All good. I'm about to tell you, Miss Lady. What's your name, Miss Lady? Can you tell me your name, please?
Chastity Washington.
I'm gonna tell you where hood comedy come from and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because 99.9 of us was poor. You know, I had some P. Wipers, some JL markers and shit, and the other nigga had trying to talk to me around this motherfucker like I didn't have shit. So it starts when you only like 7 years old. You gotta learn how to rib. You gotta be ready. You gotta be on your square. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to get a motherfucker back where you know, get up off me. Because I can talk about you too now. Wait a minute now. You know?
Right.
Your shoes about yellow on the bottom and mine, man. Well,
yep.
I saw your mama in the cheese line too, motherfucker.
He walked real. I'm glad you enjoying the sister, man. We happy to have her here.
Man, no doubt, man. And you know what? All I want is, you know, shit, I hope for better things. So, you know, you doing your shit. You know, I just wanted to call in and chime in. Well, hey, have that powerful thought. Keep it going, man. I'm going to let y'all go ahead and wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Ooh, the Marcus he brought up. Goodness gracious. Ooh, the JL Marcus. And now you can go to Marcus freely. You can go freely. You wouldn't dare step foot in there.
Right.
You wouldn't dare. You got roasted. He right.
Go with Marcus when you was a kid.
You bet not.
You
bet not. You might as well just. You might just set yourself on fire instead of go to Marcus.
I was just about to hit that. Is growing up in the black family. I just had Trav Too Funny, who's a young comedian, young brother who's trying to come up now, and it's a different style of comedy. Now I'm gonna talk about that with you momentarily. But he was on here and he was talking about, and I know this brother. I've known him since he was knee high to a flea. Shout out to my old neighborhood. Shout out to Capitol Drive in Atkinson. Man, I gotta so much love. I always have to give it up. Capitol Drive. Stop it. Rufus King neighborhood. Rufus King graduate. Okay. So I was talking to him and he was talking about, and I happen to know his family. And he said, well, my whole family is funny. I said, you're right. And in most black families, it is so many funny people, from the oldest relative, that old crazy auntie who gonna say anything, to your uncle who gonna get bopped no matter what, to your cousin who always ribbing. I'm gonna get to ribbing. But in most black families, I guess it goes along with all the struggles and the trials and tribulations we have to go through. It's some funny motherfuckers, but it's the difference in being funny and getting your ass on stage and do
two different things. Two different things. Those are two absolutely different things. Like, perfect example for me, my cousin is one of the fun, and I've worked with everyone. I've been blessed to work around the world with everybody in different capacities. My cousin is one of the funniest people I've ever met, known. He's hilarious. He's fucking hilarious. But him just getting up is not his thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not his thing. He'll sit, family and gatherings and dinner and hanging out, whatever. And that's, but yeah, I'm talking about tears, stomach hurt, pee a little, all of this, right? But at the same time, it ain't him getting up. It ain't, that ain't his thing. And then a lot of times people underestimate the difference between, because this is an art form. This is a craft, just like somebody is a musician, just like somebody is an artist or a poet or a writer or rapper, a singer, even working in broadcasting and radio. That is a craft. It's an art form. And it takes great study and structure and development. And people don't know that, right? You can be fun, but you still have to take the talent and craft it. Does that make sense? Even Picasso needed time to craft.
It makes so much sense, because I tell people all the time when it comes to what we do here, like I said earlier, we've been doing this 7 years, right? But I did college radio, right? Like I
Right.
did when I was in school. They had me all on TV. They was loving you, boy. That was all over the place. I got so much experience,
Yeah.
like just doing it. So
Yeah.
I started doing internet radio because I couldn't catch a break on terrestrial radio in Milwaukee. And so,
Really?
yo, that's a long story. And you and I,
No, I understand. I used to work in radio, so I do understand. I do understand.
That could be a whole other show. But I'm just like, so
Yeah.
my point is, we start when the whole internet thing. My wife used to be like, dude, just do internet radio. And I used to be like, I don't do no internet radio. If I ain't on the radio, I ain't doing this shit. And nobody knew this shit was gonna turn into what it is now, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
when I started doing my first podcast and whatever, I think a lot of people probably thought I was off my rocker, but then everybody looks at it now and says, I could do that shit. I'm finna start a podcast. I'm finna start a show. I'm finna go on YouTube. And I'm trying to tell people it's not as simple as it looks, right? Like you said, there's an art form to it. You got to do some research. I have to go back and look at the greats who I'm listening to Tom Joyner and even Steve Harvey country ass. I don't particularly show, but you got to peep his style. So,
hey, Steve is good at what he do. Whether he you in his audience or not, Steve great at what he do.
So I feel you on, and a lot of people, I've watched a lot of people come on in Milwaukee since this thing blew up and say, we can start a show, and it'd be on for like 3 weeks, and I'll be watching it. Come on, I'm supporting you, and that shit goes.
Yeah.
right. And there's no knock on them. Just because you can talk shit,
right.
You can do, you can do this. So, I feel you on that. And with comedy, I know that to be true. Because like you said, I got some cousins that you don't want to rib with them. My brother will demean you verbally. And he, we big boys. So he grew up and the first thing they always say to us, you fat. Okay, you got to get that first fat one off. And then I'm going from your feet to your head. Your shoes dirty, your socks dirty, your jeans. Oh, I'm going all the way up. We in order. My brother I seen cats want to pull out the strap on my brother. Like that's enough. That's enough.
Right.
And my brother,
right.
Like,
yeah.
I'm just
yeah. And but you know what? And people don't understand, like, if you doing you trying to do that at a show, and this is not 1992, and you not D.L. Hughley. After 7 minutes, people are like, okay, you done roasted everybody in the crowd, and we paid to get in here. So what else you gonna say?
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? What else you got, sir?
Right.
Okay, you done hit the whole first 2 rows. We got it. We know. Thank you. What else? Come on.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I think
to be a roasting comedian, like how I watched the 85 South crew, right? Like I think they do a dope balance with roasting the crowd and cracking jokes too. You know what I'm saying? Because it would get tiresome, like just watching the motherfucker just pick people and talk about them. You know what I'm saying? For how long the set be? About 45 minutes, an hour, or something like that.
Right.
Like that would be rough, but I think like they do it. They put a good mix in there. You know what I'm saying? The way they do it. Because I like this shit. I like that roasting shit. All right.
It has its place, and so now there's another. Like once again, now you're a black woman who does comedy, right?
Yes.
So that struggle is a little bit harder than for the brothers. Because I feel like this, okay, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm here to be corrected, but I feel like with women, it's always initially about, do you got your ass out? Do you got some big breasts? Are you showing that? Are you talking nasty? Are you getting down? Like men, we go, oh, she funny. Why? Because he talking about some nasty shit or so. But men, you got some ugly cockeyed dudes who funny as hell and was accepted from the gate. But with women, it's like they always got to fight a battle to say, no, motherfucker, I'm funny with my clothes on. I'm funny if I ain't talking about being a whore or something like that, right? Like talk about your how you hustled as a black woman trying to doing the stand-up comedy.
I mean, and I don't knock any sisters that do whatever they do. That's what if that worked for you, do what you do. For me, because this is my craft. Like I said, I'm a comic and I'm an actress. I'm a writer. And so for me, it was always about what did I want to get out? What did I think was funny? And what did I want to get out? and I wasn't going to, necessarily be like, oh, I'm finna be up here in this little bitty dress. You know what I mean? Like, like I'm finna kill him with this one titty out. You know what I mean? Like, no, that wasn't gonna work for me, right? And so, so I always wanted to, I always wanted to maintain my integrity.
Okay.
I always wanted to get out what was in my heart. I never wanted to, sit into, fit into other people's standards. Because for me, I feel like this is a calling for me, if that makes sense. Okay. It's a calling. It's not just, it's a gift and it's a calling. This is something God has blessed me to do. When God gives you talents, your talents are for other people. It's not for you. It's not for you to sashay and to say, hey, look at me. It's about how are you servicing other people with those talents, as you gentlemen are doing with this work that you're doing here online. You're providing a service and information and wisdom to people. So that's what it was always about for me. So it was about, let me get out what's in me. Let me get out this Maya Angelou impression. Let me get out this Cicely Tyson. You know what I'm talking about? Like, let me tell these stories, right? People
don't even know though. I feel like this because our media here is so compromised, right? It's so chitlin circuit. And I said it. Nobody else on it. We used to do a disclaimer, right? Like, know who to be mad at, right? Like, the opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker that said it. Know who to be mad at.
Exactly. Right? Yeah.
So we used to say that all the time. And I say the media here is so chitlin circuit that we don't do a good job of supporting our own, because you have had a very long, you just said 27 years, esteemed career. Like, you've been on some stages with some greats, and a lot of people tuning in right now, like, who the fuck Kev got on here?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I saw you years ago and was like, oh, this sister, because I'm always watching comedy and shit, and I'm like, is she from here? I jumped on it. Like, let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me reach out. So,
and thank you.
About some of your accomplishments in this game. Talk about some of, take your time to give yourself your roses, right?
Oh man, I appreciate it. It's God get all the glory, but I've been blessed. I've been blessed to I've done BET numerous times from coming to the stage back in 2004. Did Comic View 2001 and 2014. I'm an NBC Diversity finalist. I've HBO Comedy Wings winner. I've toured. I've done college tours. Like I said, did HBO Def Jam in 2007. Martha's Vineyard Comedy Fest. Just for Laughs Montreal. I've done the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage. Last Comic Sailing winner. And I've headlined different clubs across the country. And I just did Comedy on State in Madison, Wisconsin. I work regularly in Chicago. I've been blessed. God has blessed me to work and to continue to work and to continue to grow. So you could see me at Laugh Factory Chicago, or Zany's Chicago, or Chicago Improv, or the Improv here in Milwaukee. Well, the Brookfield Improv. It's not even in Milwaukee. I've been blessed. And I just continue to keep pressing and keep doing what I'm doing, and God is leading me to different places, and I've been works from LA to New York to Puerto Rico and beyond. So
that's what's up.
So
shout out to Juan Mac Jones. Juan Mac Jones is in the chat room. He said, hey, what up, everybody? He said, hey, Chastity. He said, you're worthy for real. So look, I ain't gonna even waste no time with y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and play a clip of this sister's comedy, right? Like, y'all gonna see why I laughed and why I say I'm gonna get her on my show, right? I'm finna play this. Watch. I just learned how to do this with this software, man. You don't never stop learning, man. Especially when you're an old dude like me. You always learning, right? So I learned this. I learned how to do this here earlier today. So we're gonna do this, right?
Tick tock, tick tock.
Don't worry
tick.
And anybody else feel the same way? Away from the bullshit ass children I work with. Can I say that? They horrible human beings. Can I get that part out the way? They are the worst people God ever made. They are. Every morning I gotta sit because they sing and talk to me in the morning. They be like, Miss Washington, we eat tater tots. O'clock in the morning, sit your crazy ass down. Sit down while y'all yelling at me so early. This is the bullshit. This is awful. Why did I come in here? God, please let a joint fall out the sky so I can smoke it before this shit starts. Our prayers are different. Teachers' prayers are different. God, please let it be a snow day. God, let all of the children in K5 get pink eye. God, please. I don't want to teach you today. They're insane, all of them in different ways. All of them really ain't shit at all. All of them. Don't get me wrong, I love the children I work with, but they are horrible human beings. The middle school kids are so shitty for no reason. They don't pay no bills, no taxes, and they be like, I hate Miss Watson, she a bitch, I hate her. I be like, that's all right, that's okay, because that's why I love Dodgeball Day Friday. I'll be in my office, pumping up them old ass red kickballs, remember them? I'm hitting their ass dead in the forehead. You out, bitch, yeah. So I do want to say that I hate that we're losing all these amazing musicians, right? We lost Aretha Franklin recently, Tom Petty. Prince is gone, who I love Prince. I love Prince, had the best hair, best ass out jeans. Amazing. I found out shit about Prince I didn't know until he was gone. Who knew Prince had parents? I thought God just threw Prince down in a purple egg. That's what I thought. Still sad that Michael Jackson died. It's been 10 years since he died. And I remember the day he died. I remember I was just howling. I was sick. I read it on the news. I'm like, no, Michael Jackson, 50 dead? No! How is he gonna die? He's not even real! Then who calls me? My mama, Chaz, Michael died. I don't want to bother you. Call me back. So I was teaching a dance class at the time, and I said, I'm gonna teach them a routine. I want them to be awesome, but I cried through the whole rehearsal. I set them up and got them in there. I'm gonna kill it, y'all gonna kill it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank y'all so much. Y'all be blessed. God is awesome. God. Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right.
Great job.
Welcome back to the show, man. My goodness. If y'all don't stop playing with me, come on, man. Yeah. Come on, man. Y'all got to give it up, man. Right. Give it down. And that's doing it. That's doing stand-up comedy right there. That ain't standing on the street corner being funny. That's right. That's somebody who know how to work a crowd and use those words. And you was just, come on, man. Give it up. What y'all think about that, fellas?
That was dope.
Yeah, very.
Man. So now, okay. So let's talk about that show a little bit. Where was that at? Right? Where did you do that at?
That was at the Laugh Factory Chicago. That was, I mean, it's been, God, it was like 3, almost 4 years ago now. That recording, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to upload some other shit, but I'm remedial, so y'all lucky we got that one. I can't. I'm sitting here right now excited because I I did that shit.
Yeah, you did that. Yeah, you know what? And really, I don't. It's very little online for me because I prefer for people to come out to see me. So you just keep it in small increments. Especially when you don't want to divulge too much of
Right.
what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't want your whole album,
Yeah.
out somewhere when people can like, hey, I'd rather you stream it on Spotify or buy it, or you know what I mean. So
Buy a
yeah,
ticket.
but thank you.
No problem. I was a little worried because I'm like, YouTube algorithm. I was like, I don't give a shit. They got to see this. It's funny.
I was just watching who's that? I can't remember exactly. I think it was DC Young Fly. But anyway, they was talking about like the work comedians put into their act. And that's what he was talking about, the way the time now, you know what I mean, where they put everything right on social media or whatever. And it's
Right.
like he said, sometimes we ain't even done creating our joke. We just giving it a run right quick to see how it take and how to tweak it. And you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really want to divulge too much, like she said, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you're still working on a lot of these jokes that you be saying.
Yeah, even that was 4 years ago. So all of that is extended and longer, and there's 5 more pieces to this part and this, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like when you might go to a concert, you might go see, a Cat Williams or a Mike Epps or a Kevin Hart, and they say, hey, you can't bring your phones in here. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm working this material for this special. Or I'm developing this, so I need to keep it in this scope until I release it. You know what I mean? Until it's released completely. So, and that's one thing that people don't,
So
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. No, it's okay.
Kamar.
Yeah, I was saying that's what happened with Chappelle. I went to the Chappelle concert when he came here before he did it on Netflix. And you know what I mean? That's basically it. They were taking the phones and, he basically working on his act. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you could pay to come see it, but that complete version, he putting on Netflix, and he don't want everybody to know the jokes and to know what's happening.
Yeah, it's too much. For everybody, it's too much money on the line. Yeah, especially for a Chappelle and however, but for all of us, it's money on the line. We want to. This is again. You want to release what you want to release. We don't want people will put record your whole thing and in the next in an hour it's on Instagram somewhere. You know what I mean, or on YouTube or something. So just trying to develop and grow, because then people can get preconceived notions and you want stuff to be birthed.
You brought up Instagram, okay, because we know we live now in and we all old fogies or whatnot, and I get it. But I had to adapt because I wanted to do this, and then it became a situation where if I was going to do it, I had to get some kind of limited understanding of the internet and social media and different platforms so I can put my stuff out there. And right now, one of the big kind of back and forth things that I see, because I watch a lot of comedy hype on YouTube and hear different stand-ups come on, and what's the boy Pierre who got the YouTube show?
He's a good dude. He's a good dude, man.
So the back and forth now is the new way that we do comedy with the Instagram comedy. It was Vines. You got brothers like Country Wayne. You got like a DC Young Fly. These cats have super celebrities off Instagram. They've got notoriety, and it's led to their fame by sharing it, by saying, okay, here it is. I'm gonna put the content out here. And now they get money now because that's monetized. They get money from that, as well as people coming to shows like we talked about, 85
exactly
South.
Right.
I do agree with Kamar. I think they do a great job just by even having the live band there, and just like I seen them do some shit with the auto tune with the band. I'm like, that's some shit I would love to do, to be able to have a comedy show and a podcast kind of like intertwined. But like, what do you think? Because you said 27 years, so that means you came up the OG way, like going in the club, working material, like Kamar said, like being able to go in there and say, let me try this tonight, and if this, I'm gonna get rid of this, I'm gonna keep this, and then at the big show, you got all the best shit together. So
Yeah.
what do you think about the Instagram comment? Like a Jess Hilarious as another black
Mhm.
woman. I think
Right.
Jess Hilarious is funny as hell.
I
So
do
what do you think
too.
about
I
the
do
new way?
too. She
Uh-huh.
she is so funny. She's
She
so
is funny.
funny. I think that they're doing a great job at what they're doing. I do think there's a learning curve though, because
Okay.
um, what happens, like, they are doing stuff online and they're not necessarily traditionally stand-up comics, and so then they get put into position because now people, they get huge fan bases, and now they got to go on the road. So then they got to, cut that learning curve and get up there and do what they do in their living rooms on stage. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
but I think that they're doing a great job with what they're doing and the way that they've been able to transition it and make it as big and do all the things they're doing. I think it's awesome. I
Okay.
think it's awesome.
So
It's even,
go ahead.
I'm just going back to that interview with DC had, right? It was the one where it was DC Young Fly and Shannon Sharp. If y'all
Uh-huh.
want to find it and watch it,
Okay.
right?
Peace.
But
Okay.
he was just saying that, that's how he came up. And he said he had a rude awakening. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He thought he was gonna be able to get on stage and just go at it like he did on Instagram, that on stage. He said he had to go in and go do some research old
Mhm.
comedians, you know what I'm saying? See how they did it and talk to different comedians who he admired and ask questions and really put some work in to be able to
Mm-hmm.
do what he do. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Even he said even just to transition from that to the movies would have been hard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because even that's a different type of comedy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I've even heard Jess Hilarious, who I just referenced, state that one of the things that made her be able to kind of excel where others has failed is she was willing to get in the clubs and get on the stages. Like she
Mm-hmm.
saw it as an important part of it. Like, okay, I can do these skits, but if I want to make a living at this, I got to be on the road. So I got to be able to get up there and rock out. And so she said, I went up there, I done bombed. She was like, y'all all know. Because the internet is on. I mean, the footage is on the internet. She's like, I just kept going because I figured, like you just said, it's a calling, it's a conviction. I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'd be smart now to mix and match, right? Like I think you can do some internet stuff that's kind of funny, but I think your focus, especially in the beginning, is getting your chops right, getting your
Mm-hmm.
weapons sharp, so you can get them big shows and them big rooms, but still be
Right.
able to go online and catch some YouTube money here and there. I mean, you gotta have more than one muscle in your hustle. So I do.
Right.
I think,
Exactly.
so now, do young comedians, especially from here? Because once again, there's so many funny black people from here that have been in the game. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like everything else, where it's a city of silos. So like I see like Kelly Kell, shout out to her, she's doing her thing.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to T-Dot, who's from my
Yep.
neighborhood. Who's,
Mm-hmm.
those. So like, how do y'all like? Because you talk about being a writer, I feel like
Yeah.
is there where we get together and let's just write, let's just sit down, let's put something together, let's take control of this. Because you talking about we got to go to Brookfield or Chicago to see you. We need to be seeing you on the north side or something. Like
Yeah.
what's
When the
there?
call come through, then I'm there too. You know.
Okay.
Well, I don't. As my friend Reggie Reg say, I don't really turn down nothing but my collar. I gotta
Mhm.
get my money to lead a house, but I don't really turn down nothing but my collar because I continue to grind. Yeah, I mean, there are instances where there are think tanks that happen and comics get together and um, you know, so yeah, I mean the opportunities are there to do different work and we got some amazingly talented people here from here or used to be here and people that are here. You know what I mean? So yeah. So the opportunities are there. So hopefully in the future there's more that can be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I see every other city putting it together, and I see these
Mm-hmm.
individuals who are doing like vignettes on YouTube, and it's like mini series. Like you look at Issa Rae, who basically Insecure came from her YouTube joint, and I
Yeah.
had an idea I wanted to do something called Reasons. And I'm not
Yeah.
gonna tip everybody off, but I said I want to get some black comedians to come in. We could sit down and come up with this series and probably go on YouTube and film it and make $1 million. But it would
Yeah.
take for all of us to get together. So I just wanted,
Yeah.
like, I was thinking, like, is it like you don't even see the showcases here like they should be? And I understand cats here because we don't really be on in the venues a lot of times. And so what they're gonna have a little NBA boogie boog and little bang bang shoot 'em up instead of somebody saying, you know, there's some bread to be made if I get all these seasoned veteran black comics on the north side. Like Fat Tuesdays with what Guy Torrey did. It's just based on let me start get these black comedians a stage and let them go, and pretty soon it explodes. But it hasn't happened here in Milwaukee. So I'm wondering, like, what's the problem?
there's been there's been over the years, you got to think about, there's been many rooms from, places, from T-Dot, when T-Dot had Onyx and Kelly had numerous rooms that were really successful. Marlon Hill has had a successful urban black comedy show for 20 years in different locations. It just, you understand what I mean? It might not have been in a club, like one specific space, but there's been, and D-Rock has hosted and done everything for the last 25, 30 years. Chris Barnes, so it's not like those things haven't happened. It's just that maybe people hadn't seen it, if that makes sense. Like I said, Marlon Hill.
Now, how can we get it going? Go ahead. Now? How can we get? I want to get it cracking now.
I think it's just a matter of, and even the Betty G's, the D Money, shout out to Miss Cut. It's so many comics that have done so much, even though the Daryl Hill, over the years. But it's just a matter of, I'm thinking that where it's a venue that's, where you have one specific space where everybody you can collectively do everything. And if this could be the one place where, or a specifically black owned black comedy club, that would be the, I'm sorry.
I think you and a handful of other comedians from Milwaukee should get together and just say, look, let's devote every Thursday of our week to this venue. We gonna go in on this. We gonna do this, collect the profits and all that. And you know what I'm saying? And then y'all do it. You know what I mean? Because see, with everything we do, it's like we got to take control ourselves. You know what I mean? If it's music, you know what I mean? We got to do our own record labels. If it's comedy, you know what I mean? We got to start creating our own comedy venues that's consistent enough for the community to learn about, to really grow. You know what I'm saying? And I think it would be more worth it if the comedians did it and got together and got the money for it, rather a promoter do it and try to pay all the comedians. Right.
Very true.
That probably would be a little easier if everybody commit to that day. Let's get this bag every Thursday, y'all.
You know what? Kamar does meatless Mondays, right? Every Monday. It'd be nice to have a stand-up come through there sometimes and just drop in and add a little flavor to that.
That would be dope. But you know what I mean? I think, but right now, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, our problem would be paying, right? Paying the comedian to come in to do it versus the money that we making at Meatless Monday. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of thing. So right now we can afford it, but that would be a dope ass idea. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to have a few comedians come in to where it could be set up through, you know what I mean, a bigger period of time.
Damn, it ain't no funny vegans out there.
But it's just, you know what I mean? Hard, because see, it's hard to tell somebody to come out to do something pro bono, like free. You know what I'm saying?
But
to
you
help
know what?
grow.
And I'll say this, brother. A lot of times, all you got to do is what you just did, is say, "Hey, I have this available," because something can come from that. So after we finish here, can you make sure, Kevin? Can you make sure that you give him my information?
I need
so what we can do is we can message, even if it's something that I couldn't necessarily get to, maybe one time in a month, I can filter other comedians there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's all you had to do. See, all you had to do was
listen,
say something. It might not even be.
Because I
Okay.
got a whole venue. It's a whole venue where we can utilize. You know what I mean?
Okay,
We can create our own day, or we can do it on Meatless Monday.
okay, and that's the thing that because I travel a lot and I work a lot, but I have quite a few, so many comics that we can filter through.
Word.
And so,
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll give you my number right now. My number all over Facebook. I can give it to you now.
Don't give it, Kevin, give it my stuff, and then you message me,
Hey,
and then we'll
Kevin, I give my number
seriously. No,
I can tell
we'll
you,
do it. We'll do it privately, but we'll work on that.
so
Yeah,
my intention is actually because I do want to see your show now. Like I just played an old clip, right? But I do want to. So I'm interested in, because I know my wife and I we look for grown people shit to do, and we both enjoy good comedy, and we both enjoy supporting Black people. So I intend to stay in contact with you anyways, because I would like you to come back, right? Because now
I want to do the sports show. I'm a sports girl. I teach PE. I play college basketball. So
wow.
I'm a sports girl. So let's chat, gentlemen. Let's discuss these playoffs. Let's get this.
That's it right
Let's discuss it. Let's get it out of the way. Let's talk about these sweeps and that Kyrie is crazy. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Kevin Durant's taco meat on the back of his head. Let's talk about these things. Let's talk about it, that they have nobody on their team. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that there's only 3 Chicago Bulls. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That works for me.
Chris Paul is 57 years old, and he's playing like he's 32, and this is great. This is great. And someone needs to just tell Russell Westbrook to move back to Oklahoma City. Let's talk about it. No, move back. You're not doing well in Los Angeles. You're at home and you're hanging out with your friends. Okay.
Now what's gonna happen?
Go home, Russell.
You bringing the Big Black Sports Show to Outlaw Radio. You getting
I'm sorry. I'm crossing your.
All good.
I'm crossing your wires. I'm sorry.
I'm going to hold you to that, because if we could not use anything better than having a sister. I was told not to say female, a Black woman on the Big Black Sports Show. Yes, we're gonna make that happen with the gypsiness. Ewok, what's good? I see you hitting his back. What's popping?
Oh man, she funny and she likes sports. I'm gonna post her up in the living room and drop step her ass and dunk on her. Man, I'm looking for
Let's go, gentlemen. Yes.
That's what's up, man.
I'm gonna shoot the J. I'm gonna shoot it.
Yes. Come on, give me the step back so I can swipe. Let's go.
I'm gonna give you the Hakeem Olajuwon, the dream shake. I'm telling you.
Oh, you gonna shake me and pull me back? Okay, let's go.
Hey,
let's go.
Basketball? Are we still talking about basketball? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, we still
I know. I am. I don't know what he's saying.
Talking about sports.
I don't know. Somebody said something about handling some balls. Nobody handles balls like me. It's like, whoa, hold on now.
Yeah, there you go. That was for you, man, because I'm funny. You just funny looking.
Right. I get it. Hey, I've been called worse by less. Trust me.
I can take a joke real good.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir, man. I like this show, though, man. Yeah, man. Shit, you funny. I like it. I dig it. You know what I'm saying? You a realist. You know what I'm saying? K-Bull. I mean, whatever y'all got going, and you know what I'm saying, y'all can make something happen. Maybe not once a week. Maybe try once a month. You know what I'm saying? That's all good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get that shit pumping.
That's what's up. We always appreciate your support, man.
Sure,
yes, sir.
Sure.
If y'all got any questions for this sister, we got a little time with her left, because I want to take up her whole night, because she says she work a lot. I know Black people like, I don't be up this time, especially when you get to our age. We some napping motherfuckers once we get to this age.
Hey, come on.
025131, because I will power nap on your ass. My wife be like,
always looking for opportunities.
Right. Shout out to Tiarsha Arthur. She said there was an event at Destiny High School and the Milwaukee comedians were there in the dance team. My granddaughter is on the Phenomenal. She said they had an event and the Milwaukee comedians were there about 2 months ago. Also, Mr. J's has comedy shows. Yeah, it's cool. You know what? I talked about intentional solidarity. We talk about that all the time. Showing everybody, not that we got anything to prove to anybody, but it's important for us to show that we can be together and have a good time and laugh and joke around and nobody get their shit knocked out or kicked back in the back of the head. So these kinds of events that are classy, where you got to come, you come to be entertained, you come and have a good time. You ain't in here looking for Boudreaux and them who robbed your cousin up in the club. We got to make these kinds of events what we do, like us taking back our culture and saying we're not gonna let some fancy fast talking Arab come in here and promote this. We're gonna put this together ourselves. There's enough black venues where we can make these kinds of things happen. So my sister, welcome to the family. And hopefully we can work to even start getting some exclusive footage so we can show the people so they can support you and start promoting your dates in the People's News Network. Is more to come. They always say teamwork make the dream work, man, and that's what it's all about. I just try to bring light where there is none for my people, because I keep saying we got so much to be proud of, but we focus on the shit that we pissed off about, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Everybody mad, Milwaukee. Everybody walking around mad. Oh, I'll beat your ass. I think one of the funniest things is almost everybody from Milwaukee, as soon as something happens, you just say, these motherfuckers know. They don't know. Nobody don't know. You
not at all.
You the coldest, baddest motherfucker in your own mind, right? Like you fucking on the news fucking with these crazy ass people out here. So show some class and some solidarity. Shout out to my boy Wayne Richards from the Twin Cities. I see you, Wayne. I just chopped it up. One of my oldest friends. He enjoys the show. He's a strong supporter. I got the apparel coming back. So we'll support it in that way. But I am serious when I say, first of all, we got to get you back on the show again when you have some time. You and I will discuss that. And I want to come see the live show. And I want to see some updated stuff. And there's a potential for some good collaboration that could happen, because what Kamar and the rest of his people do, and I'm gonna give him a chance to shout those people out. This is all vegan meals. This is healthy. It's a positive vibe. It's a positive environment. Awesome. It's a black-owned venue. And it's a place where it's gonna be, everything, you'll be safe and won't nothing, even though it's on Capitol, right off Capitol. Now Capitol got some challenges, but it's a good thing, man, and it's a good place to be, and it's a place that we can build something from. So I think it's very important. Like, even like you were talking about knowing other comedians that are out here doing their thing. Refer them on. Let's bring them on Outlaw Radio. As a matter of fact, I've been waiting for a long time to do a podcast with comedians from here just to showcase them. Right. And me, Mike, it's you, Mike. So it's a lot that we can talk about and come up with. Do you have any appearances coming up where like anywhere in the area that people can see?
The next couple of weeks I'm traveling. I'm in North Carolina next week, and then upper Wisconsin and Chicago, and Chicago tomorrow, and however it'll be probably sometime in June. Say it again.
I was gonna say, let us know those dates close by, Chicago or Upper Wisconsin.
Okay.
See if
I'll do that.
I'll do that. I'm always shooting down to Chicago to one of them vegan restaurants or something. So it ain't nothing but a half step in the jump.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I will keep y'all posted. I got maybe one or two things before I will be spending the majority of the summer in New York. I'm working in New York this summer. So before I leave, the couple things that I have, I'll definitely make sure I send it to you so you can get it. So hopefully you guys can come out and we get a chance to see a show and have a meal, a healthy meal.
Kamar's vegan. I ain't vegan.
Let me get this straight though. I don't hold everybody to do vegan like I do. Ooh. Like when you do, this whatever we connect on and create, it may not even be a vegan demonstration. I ain't funny like that. You know what I mean? I want everybody to have fun. I want everybody to appreciate me too. You know what I mean? I'm here for everybody. Just the vegan.
Now, are you a chef?
I know I have chefs close with me. I have a vegan chef that works with me on Meatless Mondays, the high frequency chef.
Okay.
Samar is the ghetto witch doctor because of his herbal concoctions, right? Like, and I'm here to tell you, I'm an old man. I pops the sea moss capsules. I started doing it. I'm a little bit more.
Me too. Me too.
I'm a little
the
bit
sea
more
moss, the turmeric.
Right, I be walking around a little bit with that bladder rack.
You gotta get you hip to this vitality.
Yeah,
The sea moss. I gotta get you hip to that.
Yeah, I do sea moss. I do sea moss. I do turmeric. Along with on top of the multivitamin with the zinc and the D3. I stay on it.
I got some tea that's gonna blow your mind. What I said, you gonna love what I tell you. I'll get it to you.
I tell you what, old men jump on that, man. I'm telling you, I'll be walking around here looking at my wife like, I'm gonna get down now. Kevin, go on somewhere. Hey, T-Moss got me riled up, baby. I'm around here. So look, your socials. Let's get your socials because I want people to be able to see you. Of course, we'll get you back. We'll have as much exposure as we can give you. And I'm darn sure gonna get you on the Big Black Sports Show. That's what's up.
Oh yeah.
But so you got socials. How can people catch you on the socials?
I am on just about not everything. I'm not on Twitter. But Facebook Chastity. Huh?
You are now.
Yeah, right now, yeah. Right now, yeah. Facebook Chastity Washington. You spell it CHASTITY, small titty at the end. 37. Chastity Washington 37. And then Instagram is Chastity_Washington. It's the same on TikTok, Chastity_Washington.
Okay.
So those three.
Well, I'm so glad you came through. I'm glad I'm persistent if nothing else. So I'm glad you came through. And I appreciate you taking time off our little platform. But we look forward to seeing you in the future. And like, I just want you to know, anytime you got anything that you want to promote or put out to the people, you can do it here. You have our full-fledged support with all my limited influence, but there's some there. But anytime you want to get it in, you're part of the family. We're gonna chop it up a little bit more because we gonna cohabitulate. I don't know if that's a real word, but it sounded like it would be slick as shit.
Yes.
But so, man, I'm glad y'all will be able to watch this show. It'll be on my sister's timeline. It'll be on our YouTube page. It'll be on our Facebook page. Give it up for Chastity Washington, man.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me. This was so dope.
Yes,
I am pleased to make y'all acquaintance and to see what you all are doing, and may God bless y'all. May He continue to bless y'all. This is stellar. This is stellar, gentlemen. So thank you.
And like I said, we'll be seeing you real soon. We'll be seeing you real soon. All
right, we'll do
sister.
All right, y'all be blessed. Send in my info so he can message me. Okay. Good meeting y'all.
So we can get this bag. So me and Chastity can get this bag.
All right. You and Chastity, don't have me shoot up the club, goddammit. I'm be showing up.
How that song go? Fuck with me and get some money. Fuck with me. Chastity gonna beat this bag.
All right, my sister. You have a good night.
Thank y'all. Have a good one, y'all.
You too.
All right, man.
Sugar cane. Sugar. Sometimes. Well, all right. Say, girl, you ain't never met a player like me, baby, man. Let me spit to you. Let me spit some game.
Did my shit go away?
Yeah, we can't hear you, man.
I can't hear you, kid. Oh, okay. I was like, damn, did my volume go away?
Oh,
He
you're
must be
Kevin.
muted. Yeah, I can't hear him either.
You muted, Kevin. Okay. What the heck? Turn the music back on. We can't hear you.
Right.
We was partying for a minute, man. Come on.
Right. That bass line was slapping. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Okay, we got it back. We got it back. We got it back, man. What's going on, man? How y'all feeling, man?
I'm good, man.
Man, I want to welcome everybody in the chat room, man. Go check that sister out, man. That sister is hilarious. Milwaukee got a lot of talent, man. We got to give ourselves credit where credit is due, man. TR Arthur said, "Turn up your flip phone." I think I got it now, TR. She goes in on you.
Hey, you gotta open the flip phone.
Right. Actually, it's just man, it's so many buttons, man. I'm gonna show y'all this thing one day. Y'all will be, you be impressed, right? It's far from a flip phone, but players fuck up.
right.
Right. Long as y'all heard sugar free and cocaine, I'm good. So as long as y'all heard that, it don't matter what I said. That's what's up.
We was drinking too. It was a party.
Yeah, it was.
Man, listen, man. I want y'all to know, man, there's still a lot going on in the city. We didn't really, talk about the social stuff that we talk about normally, because sometimes it's just time to relax and have a good time. But the moral of this story is we got to support each other, right? Like we have to big up those of us in our community who are doing something positive, man. And so that sister has been around the world doing comedy. She has a passion for it, and there's many more people. And if you out there and you got something going, and you want to get on the show or you want to push what you do, push your platform, man, come on in, man. We welcome that. I did have some stuff that I wanted to kind of talk about tonight, before we get off the air, because we got to do the bullshit for the last few minutes of the show. And I wanted to ask y'all, first of all, Kevin Samuels came out, right, and he said that women, if you're 35 and you're not married, you just leftovers. You're just a leftover woman. You just low value.
God damn.
Right. And so, I once again I know people like fuck Kevin Samuels and whatnot, but I just wanted to know, man, because I'm so far out the loop in terms of trying to determine who's a high value woman and who's a low. I'm focused on the one that I have. You know what I mean? Who I say is a high value woman. But what y'all think about this, man? For are you out here?
I think
leftovers.
I think distinguishing what's a good woman is up to the individual, right? First, you got to know who you are. You got to know what's a good woman to you. What woman compliments you? You know what I'm saying? So that's what a good woman would be, is to the individual. It's up to that man to determine what's a good woman. Every man, like you can't take 10 men, you can't take 5 men, you can't take 3 men, you can't take even 2 men to agree from top to bottom what's a good woman.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it's up to the individual.
So
my bad, but as far as what he said, you know what I mean? Whether or not you agree with this brother, man, the shit he says is
hilarious, man. He is hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you agree with him or not, man.
Right. So I'm saying, because we keep talking about sometimes some truth. There's a lot of truth is said in jest, right? Like there's a lot of so how much of this is true? Like if you're a woman and you're 35, right? And I'm not saying I agree, but I'm saying we looking and say, okay, well, why somebody ain't with you yet? Or like if you meet a woman that's done, 2-3 baby daddies, like does that take away from her value? Because you say, well, why nobody ain't stayed with you? Why them dudes ain't stayed with you? Like you must obviously there's something wrong with you. So like, is that how we look at women? I'm not a single man, so I don't know. So I guess my thing would be, he says that, and we may, we laugh at it, but is there some truth to it? Like, if you 35 and you're a woman and you're not married, you don't have a man, is it, when you look at her as a brother, do you say it's got to be something wrong with her? Is that how you size her up?
Me personally, no, because I understand that the person they are today is not necessarily who they were yesterday. But then again, you know what I'm saying? I'm a real different dude. I only fuck with brujas and hippies now, like witches and hippies. So I mean, it's a I'm on a whole different spectrum anyway. So I don't know, man. But me personally, at 35, it's about how their mind is. Is their mind right? Are they of substance now? You know, I don't give a fuck who they was in the past or what they did. It's about who they are now and if they complement my lifestyle and goals.
So there's no deal breaker. So if you meet this female and she's 35 and she says, okay, I used to be a dancer and I did my thing on the side. I've been in the game. I shouldn't ask you this question. I pretty much know what you're gonna say. I mean, let's make it a little bit more. Let's make it a little bit more extreme, right? So she say I was a porn star.
Let's come with it. Come
So
with
she
it.
said
G.
I was a porn star and I starred in several films in which I was gang banged by white dudes wearing Confederate flags on their shirts, right? And I'm making this up, but somebody done had to say this to somebody because these movies have been made.
Right, they exist. They
Right.
exist.
So if she says that to you, do you say, "Oh, I can't fuck with you," or do you say, "Well, you ain't who you used to be. It's all good. You taking her to the cookout"?
I mean, me personally, I think me personally, if we vibe now, I don't give a fuck about that. My two questions is, are you vaccinated? And are you able to think outside the Christian box? If she say no to being vaccinated and she ain't saying everything is the devil, shit. And then if she got waist beads and shit like that, I'm fucking with her.
T.R. Arthur said maybe that 35-year-old woman was with someone since they were 18 and finally got away from the guy when she turned 30 years. Yeah, we don't know the story. That's why I'm saying,
Right.
like I'm
it's a lot of ways that could go down. You know what I mean? Like you can look at that in a good way. Like, okay, she was evolved. You know what I mean? She know herself over these years and changed.
Kamar, you missed the question. You did you hear the question about?
No, it wasn't a question. I was going back to what he said. Like it's, he said if you're 35, you leftovers.
I know.
So what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, like, I don't think always it would be something like that. You know what I mean? Like you got somebody who could be evolving. You got a woman that could be evolving, and over the years she's meeting different men that just don't fit the route she taking. You know what I'm saying? And she done had a couple kids along the way. You know what I mean? That don't mean she leftovers or nothing. You know what I mean? She could be a dope person and still just ain't found the person for her.
Okay, so
and she 30.
The extended question from there was so the deal breaker. So like I asked Real, like if you meet a sister and you dealing with her and she says, well, I got lost when I was young and I was a porn star and I used to do gangbang movies for dudes wearing Confederate flag t-shirts. Is this a deal breaker, Kamar? Do you say, well, I'm gonna deal with your spirit now? Like it's all good. I'm not tripping on that. Like that was the extension of the question.
Well, I don't know if I want a porn star, so that probably would be a deal breaker for me.
But even if she said I've changed, I've evolved, like I got in touch with who I am and I found my worth and I escaped that life. Like would you? Because okay, first of all, shout out to Rock. He said after the cookout, you winning. If you bring the porn star girl so he's talking to Real. But so like right now, the sister Diana Williams, does the Dancing Dolls, has the show. Has totally turned her life around, got a son, got a husband, and all of that. But they found out she had been a porn star. And
I seen it. It was whack too. It was whack as hell.
Some 90s hardcore porn. And so like right now, her husband, I'm not judging. I'm just throwing this out there. Like I couldn't imagine being at work with somebody's, they laughing and I go in there and they like, dog. They was watching this video of your girl, especially if it's like some crazy, like a 20-man gangbang. I think I'm gonna come home in a certain kind of mood. Like, man, I ain't gonna be able to do this shit with you, or, I'm just saying, like, so what is a deal breaker from somebody's past? Like, do you say, I'm determining the person that I want to be with by their past? Like, what's a deal breaker?
Again, that's up to the individual.
Okay.
To the person who got to make that decision, because some people don't know. I mean, and I don't knock it, but I think for me that would be a deal breaker.
Okay.
Funny thing is, I actually have a friend who is She's been in like plenty West Coast productions and porn and shit. She actually was a porn star before I knew her, and she was a celebrity too. She's a celebrity. And you know, we became Instagram friends, and you know, me doing my counseling shit, you know, we got to talking, you know. But I mean, like I said, for me, I think a deal breaker is some shit that will impact my grind now. You know, I don't give a fuck about rumors or hearsay or even facts from the past. Like I seen that Diana chick flicks. I mean,
you still got to be her husband. So we got Rock on the line.
Okay.
What's going on, Rock?
What it do, man? Y'all crazy, boy. I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't want to take a church girl to the cookout, my nigga. Shit, the fucking car girl, all these people, this is what they do. All the Western cowboys had a Bravo, you know this, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Bravos and pistols, my nigga. Shit, if it ain't that, what the fuck is it? Because women ain't necessarily taking care of niggas. They gotta learn how to take care of themselves. So after that, if you can take care of yourself, at the end of the day, you play.
Would you wife the ex porn star? Would you wife Miss Diana? You know, would you say it's all good, baby? Is it? I'm here for you right now.
Shit, people asking me questions, boss. All you gotta do is ride with me for an hour. I know if you down or not. If you riding in the car with me and you willing to die, I don't give a fuck what you did, because guess what I did? None of that, but I did some other shit. Shit. I mean, if a pussy was a pistol, everybody be dead. Right. But shit, these pistols killing niggas anyway, so what's the difference?
I don't know. I feel like everybody's avoiding the question because they hoping that what if I meet an ex-porn star one day? I don't want to take myself out to run it.
Nah, shit.
I ain't avoiding it. I already know. I ain't avoiding it. I already know. I don't want her. You know what I mean?
But I'm gonna tell you like a real man.
Like you talk about sex, man. You talking about the mixing of energies too. She done dealt with all these different niggas, man. She done took on the trauma of a bunch of these different niggas. I don't want that shit.
Man, one day take a piece of paper and start thinking back to like you were 10 and start writing down all the people you fuck with. You're a car lot for hoes, man. But then when your car lot for whole days was over, now you're man. Everybody's the same, but it's just a little different when it's said different. But shit, everybody was
It's okay if your stuff is the same.
Right.
It's okay if your stuff is the same. That's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
A chick that fuck many men is not these new chicks. They fucking each other. Yeah, so now what? Guess what? I take this old hoe any day. She like a dick. These bitches like a it. So, yeah, I ain't going with they store. I'm going to the store I've been going to, old school now. See, I want me a chick in the daytime and bitch at night. So these ladies, they want to be ladies. I love the education, but you can't write a book when it's time to fuck. So what about that? Everybody want to be fucked, right? But don't nobody want no hoe. Shit, I don't want no beginner shit. I don't want to talk about it. Shit, what's the teacup game? I don't want to explain this shit to a motherfucker. Listen here.
Wow, no. That's crazy.
I mean, it sounds crazy until it's time. Everybody want to say, "Oh, Father God," and they ain't going to church. So shit.
No.
But other than that,
I agree.
Y'all go, man. I love y'all, man. Peace.
For sure, man.
See? This all came from Kevin Samuels, right? Like this all comes from him talking about a high value woman and a low value woman. So if you just tune in, like they talking about porn stars, no, we're not. What I was saying was, to what standards do you hold a person if you are like looking at them as a potential mate? Like, right? Like, so I was saying, like, what's a deal breaker for you? And this goes to ladies too. Like if you and Chris just touched on something that a lot of brothers, you know, for the thing that we say we wouldn't mess with a woman for, we're guilty of the same thing. So like you'll look down on a chick and say, oh, I keep saying chick, I'm sorry. You look down on a woman and say, you know, you've been with too many dudes. And then if you really take your body count, you probably been with more people than her. So it's kind of hypocritical. But I mean, they say the standard is the standard. That's what Mike Tomlin says. The standard is the standard.
It's you know, it's two sides to everything, right? So yeah, it's it's okay for a woman to feel like that too. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I said,
Right.
ain't nothing wrong if your standards change. Ain't nothing
Right.
wrong with that. You an individual. You know what I mean? You evolving. Your thoughts change. You getting different thoughts every day. You getting different ideas. You doing different shit. So you gonna change as you grow. As you grow mentally, spiritually, physically, your standards gonna change. If you like into your health, you ain't finna get no motherfucker to eat honey buns all goddamn day.
I don't know. Depending on what she do for you with the honey bun.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I said eat honey buns.
Right.
You know,
So
if you was
speaking
a
of honey
vegan,
bun,
you care about your health, you ain't finna get no mate that do that. You know what I mean?
speak,
So I'm just saying, ain't nothing wrong with your standards changing or your morals or your ideas or none of that. It's okay. So what? Your past is your past. That's your past. These are my thoughts right now. You dig what I'm
right.
saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You got the right to not deal with it. I mean, like you said,
Right,
it's
right, you do.
fair for both sides. So speaking of honey buns, I see now that Lizzo, and we talk about not body shaming people and accepting people for how they are, and Lizzo is still out here doing what she did in the beginning, which is continue to show up in swimsuits and all this kind of stuff. So right now it's kind of normalized, and people are actually now saying Lizzo is the new sexy, right? Like now, and it might be because of her audacity just to kind of be vulnerable and say, look, I don't care what you think. Or some brothers might say, I like that. But I feel like right now, I've seen more people with her latest kind of photo releases saying, man, she looks good. Or so has she accomplished her mission in that she wanted people to just say, look, it's okay to be who you are. And you don't have to hide behind no surgeries or none of that. So what y'all think? Have y'all seen the Lizzo joints or
I seen the pictures, but I mean, she got to know it's gonna be some people out there that don't like it. You know
right?
what I mean? Be ready for that. I don't care what some people like big women, so it's
No
gonna be
doubt,
some people that think it's sexy.
no
The
doubt.
fuck? That's
Real,
obvious, right?
you rocking with Lizzo?
I mean, I fucks with her confidence. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, again, I'm a hippie, so I fucks with the nudist and the free spirit. So if it's about her ass being all out, I don't mind that. The human body never offends me type shit. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That's our natural state. But my thing is motive. Like with me, I really don't give a fuck about what you do, is what motivated you to do it. If she
Yeah,
doing it for attention and external validation, then she need to work on some shit in herself. But if she doing it because that's her and she just like being a big girl with her ass out, I fucks with it. Because anybody who don't like it, just look the fuck away.
Right. Okay.
I'm a look. I love nudity, so shit. I don't give a fuck what size you is. I'm a look.
Yeah. I just think I think it's got to be it's rules to this shit. Like it's certain shit that you only supposed to really enjoy yourself, and like
wasn't she
because
just tripping? Wasn't
and
she just
because
tripping talking
we
about
can
it?
we can respect you, we can respect your right to be individuals, but you got to respect us too. So if somebody say, man, you got to put that up. Like I don't know about,
Put your
you know what I
ass
mean?
up.
Yeah, come on, man.
She
I'm
just
trying to
tripping
get.
on the internet about somebody talking about it.
Well, no, well, a lot of
She
people.
was crying before, like I
Yeah,
think last time, something like that.
it was a
Yeah,
struggle
wasn't
for
it
her.
about some Well,
It was a
see,
struggle.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you gonna cry, you gonna have a problem with people talking about you. You shouldn't do it.
See, and that's what I'm saying. If your motive is to be like accepted or shit like that, then you again, anytime you seeking something from the external world, you already fucking up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So if she just got her ass out because she like her ass out, she don't care who got something to say about her ass out, then I'm staying with her 100%. But if she doing it as attention needed and shit like that, then I just pray she gets the healing and validation she desires. You know.
And so I go from there to I'm looking at now Meg the Stallion. She's going through this thing with Tory Lanez where she got her and she went on Gayle King and she said, well, I never had a sexual relationship with him. And she's telling this story and people still don't really believe her. And when she says she didn't have a sexual relationship with him, and I think it's solely because of the music. And I've been saying this. I thought she was clever. I thought it was entertaining for a minute, but I was hoping she didn't box herself in because all you're talking about constantly is sex and things of a sexual nature. Now, when she says, well, I didn't have a sexual relationship with him, everybody says she lying. She lying. Even Vivica Fox came out and said, she shouldn't did that shit. She was wrong. So nobody believes Meg Thee Stallion, man. And so
I believe it.
it's just how your words and how you can create a reality for yourself that can be counterproductive is all I'm saying. And
You ever listen to her freestyles though and shit? Like her like her with her free when you listen to it, like me personally, I'm not a fan of hers because I would rather have Sweet James Jones, who she trying to emulate.
Yeah,
but
Tina, right? Come on, right?
But man, yeah, but that's another thing. But you know, she always rapped about pimping niggas and playing with their mind. So I mean, I would, if she said, look, I seen him as a target. I knew I could fuck with him to get my name up out here and my credibility. I act like I was gonna fuck him, and maybe that's why he shot her in the foot because she wouldn't come off the pussy. So I don't know, but you know, but I mean, it ain't hard to believe if she said, "Hey, I spent the nigga and played with his mind to get what I want." This is what her raps is about when she talk about pimping niggas.
See, that's what I'm saying. Because of what her raps is about, people have found they question everything. They're saying, "No, you lying. Yeah, obviously you did something. What you do to that boy, right?" Type shit.
Play with his mind.
This is what she created.
Hey, don't she say she be fucking niggas too? For shit.
I mean, she definitely might. I mean, I wouldn't put it past her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they talk about WAP and all that type of shit. You gotta tell nobody you got a WAP if you know.
Well, you know, shit. It got her where she at now. It's wild too.
Nothing she do, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like ain't no reason he should have shot her in the foot.
I mean,
ain't no reason he should have been had no gun in his hand.
Right, yeah. I still don't know the full story with that because I remember he was saying he didn't shoot her or something like that, and it wasn't a bullet in her foot. And that was a whole thing about was it a bullet, was it not a bullet type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I guess I'll say shit. Just treat people like I guess I can't say treat people like you want to be treated because most of these people really secretly hate themselves and they project that shit on each other.
You can't expect nobody to treat you like you treat them either.
Right.
You can't expect nobody to treat you like them. You know what I mean? Everybody, right. You know what I'm saying? They don't kick it like that. Some people still in survival mode. You know what I mean? You got that survival mindset, and you're not. So you can't expect them to treat you like you would treat them. They trying to get what they can get from you, but you're not trying to.
Right. I mean, he was known at the time. Tory Lanez was known at the time, and she was up and coming. So I really think she played with that boy just for some clout.
You know what? It seems like the details are super murky, right? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I put it out there. Because this is like you would think on the surface he shot her in the foot. She's saying now he was shooting at her feet. And you're saying dance, bitch, dance. Obviously, this was a drunken, drug fueled, like kind of. It's a lot going on right here with this story. So you know, I just I didn't know. Shout out to Willie Just Comedy Brown.
I was just telling him while you was gone. I was saying that ain't no reason he should have had a gun in his hand.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, how the gun comes into play is especially you dealing with a woman. Like, what are you doing with a gun? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
The gun shouldn't even been in his hand. Mm-hmm. If a gun was involved or whatever.
This was a out of control situation. Obviously, it wasn't no grown folks at home with this situation. It was a lot of shit going on here, right?
It was just what the Boondocks would call a nigga moment. You know what I'm saying? Two niggas fed on each other energy, and you just had a nigga moment. You know what I'm saying?
Fly in the window.
Shout out to once again, man. Shout out to Chastity Washington, who is a comedian from Milwaukee. I see Willie Just Comedy Brown checking us out. I'm trying to get this brother on too. He's a very funny brother. I'm supporting all anybody from Milwaukee who's doing something positive, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Kamar say it best when he say, we talk that talk and we walk that walk, my brother, because I am about intentional solidarity. And if you got something positive going on, something to say in this community, I'm rocking with you. I ain't no hate, ain't no ego, none of that. If you about putting the 414, the black community up here, I said the other night, we don't have no soul. Our city has no soul right now. This is why you see all these egregious, crazy acts. We ain't on code right now. We ain't one nation, right? Under a groove. Because it ain't no groove. So somebody gonna have to play the groove. Somebody gonna have to get on the band. Somebody gonna have to get on the bass. Somebody gonna have to get on the lead, on the drums. We're gonna have to create some soul where there is none. And I think that starts with us supporting us. So like once again, if you out there and you got something you want to push, man, please join in with us, man. I promise not to knock the stuffing out your egg McMuffin. Now did y'all see Viola Davis? I'm sorry, Viola Davis she's doing the Michelle Obama movie, and people are mad at Viola. And you know, we love Viola Davis. Remember, she was crying and snotting and shit. I was standing there with you, right? Like, so
Yeah.
did Michelle bad. I don't know if y'all have seen this. I was so focused on getting Chastity's comedy, her routine up. I should have got how she's imitating Michelle Obama. I'm the type of person that could be a cheerleader for foolishness, so I think the shit's funny, but people are pissed about it. Did y'all see this?
I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, it's
I
hilarious.
ain't watch it, man.
She's doing this thing with
her.
She's doing this thing with her lips. I guess that Michelle Obama I'm like, even my wife was saying, what was she thinking? Why would she do that? Like, it's like, I don't know. She just don't like Michelle Obama or what, but it's like some in living color type shit when you see it. And it's supposed to be a serious movie. And she's a serious actress, man. So this shit's crazy, man. I meant to ask Chastity, and the conversation flowed so well. I want to ask her about the Chris Rock thing and all that, but we'll get her back to talk about that. But y'all see Jada is coming back with her show, and on the first show she's coming back with Janae Monell, who says, is that her name? I know you know who I'm talking about. Janelle Monáe. She says she's non-binary. She's not a woman. She's not a man. Right? Like, and so
yeah, I seen her say that.
Somebody tell me what it means, right? She said, I'm not a woman, I'm not a man. I'd like to know. And she says, I'm not some I can't identify with a gender and this kind of thing. And I'm just wondering how this works, right? Like, because when she deals with something that's a female issue, like say her menstrual or whatever, like, is she like part woman, or is there I can't understand the new definitions for sexuality and gender orientation. So I'm like, okay, so what is she then? Like, does and real you'd like to do a lot of existential research. So what is the non-binary thing about, right?
They might call it like non-binary or what, gender fluidity or some shit like that. But basically just it's my understanding, because I'm not a part of the group, but it's just my understanding that they don't subscribe to a particular gender or the roles that it implies. Like, I know Janelle Monáe, I believe at one point in time she was bisexual type shit, and now she just like, hey, in order for me to be bisexual, that means I have to be a woman who likes men and women. What if I just say I ain't, I'm all of the above and fuck with all of the above, It's just, I guess it's just like a new form of thought. But me personally, I believe that at least in this realm, we live in a realm of polarity. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe that the key is to find balance within the two, but that don't mean, like, I like to believe that I have my divine feminine and divine masculine balanced, but I don't walk around saying that I'm binary. I'm a man that can be in touch with my emotions. I can understand my emotions. I understand the the pull of the feminine energy, shit like that. But I'm still a man. I use my understanding of that energy to better serve my woman type shit. But you know, it's like it's just a train of thought now that some people be like, hey, I'm so much more than a gender. I'm so much more than a name. You know, shit like that.
I think it's the new gay. It's the way they just group everybody, all of them together. That's the name they running with. I think. I just think that's the new gay.
Why do we need a new gay? What's wrong with the old one? Is the old one not working?
I don't know. I'm not one of them. I don't know if it was.
I don't know, man.
Hey,
I'm just talking about the name, man. Just the name, like as far as what I'm saying is like, you know, everything is changing. Like, remember, you used to be able to say faggot. You can barely say gay now. You know what I mean? Like, all this shit is changing. We're like, what do you call it?
Right.
If I was referring to a group of them, what do I call them?
That's actually a very good answer.
So maybe non-binary would be the non-binary people or something. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe that would be the new way to say it. That's what I mean, the new gay.
I'm glad you answered it the way you did and saying, I don't know, I'm not gay. Because if you just said, no, it's working fine, it works perfectly, I would have said, what the fuck is going on with Kamar? You got something you want to tell us, Kamar? I mean, you know, whatever, man. It is what it is. This is one of those situations where I'm actually glad to be old. I'm glad to be old because I'm glad I was raised by a generation that told us this is what you are, this is who you are. Like I'm so appreciative of my dad raising me to be a man and to really draw on my masculinity and let me know it ain't no shame to it. You don't need to doubt it. You don't need to deny it. Just live in it, man. It's your reality, is who you are. Don't get me wrong. It's tough to be a man. I get it. So it sends some cats running like, man, I don't even want to do this shit no more. I'm just a girl. I get it. I see that. I seen Dwayne Wade when people question him about his son. He said, well, see, I grew up and I used to put on dresses and I used to put on my sister's purses, whatever they wore, I wore. And I said, see, that's where not having a man in the house kind of hurts you, because my father would have kicked all kinds of ass. It wouldn't have just been me. It would have been the person who gave me the dress and the skirt and the purse. Like, don't you put that shit on my son. And so we missing that, man. Black man, we got to put our foot back in this thing, man. We got to get it back cracked. We got to get this masculinity back pumping, man. Or we gonna lose our whole shit. Go ahead.
You know, I think times is coming to this, right? Like on applications, I think it's gonna ask, are you binary? If you check yes, then it's gonna be another question to say, well, are you male or female?
Right. It's already to the point on when it say gender and then it say like other and all kinds of shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you see bathrooms now, they ain't got nobody on the sign. The sign just blank. It's like whoever got to piss. Like, this your bathroom. Like you don't even I'm confused as hell.
And the woman on it. You see bathrooms with the man and the woman on it.
I mess around, piss on myself. It's crazy. People do too much, man. They do too much.
I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble. I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble if I go in the bathroom with the man and the woman on the side.
I don't want to see what's going on in there. I don't.
I just feel like I'm gonna get in trouble if I go in there.
Right. Yeah, man.
I don't belong in there. Like, I don't belong in there.
What you got going on this weekend, Kamar?
I got a Mother's Day pop-up shop at 5117.
Okay.
North 37th Street, I believe. It's a Mother's Day pop-up Sunday. We'll be there all day Sunday. Then, Meatless Monday after that. You might catch me at the Sherman Phoenix for a couple hours Saturday. I might do a couple hours, put in a couple hours.
I don't know what the weather's gonna be like this weekend. Real, what you got popping?
Man, if it's warm, I gotta get back out in that yard. I gotta get up to Home Depot and grab them trees before they gone. But lately I just been meeting with more so business owners. I wanna be the plug, man. Like instead of slapping my books off, I want to put my books in some stores. And then I've been meeting up with, I got a couple friends who are masseuses and shit like that. So, I make my own, like this is my CBD infused massage lotion. And then, I got the CBD infused bath soaks and the CBD infused creams and shit. So I just been meeting with them, having them try it on their clients. So far, I've been getting good feedback and shit like that. So eventually, I want to have my even my CBD health and beauty products in spas and shit like that, to where I don't really have to interact with the public to sell them. I just drop my shit off and pick my money up and keep it moving.
Okay. Man, y'all support these brothers, man. Shout out to Chastity Washington, who joined us for the first hour of the show. Share the show, man. Support the mill. Got some funny motherfuckers in Milwaukee, some talented.
Most definitely.
And she'll be back on the show. She said she wants to come on the Big Black Sports Show. It's a lot to be done, man. Nobody's gonna ever do anything for us except for us. If you believe anything other than that, you're an idiot. We got to take control of this thing, man. Milwaukee is a city of silos, but guess what would happen, or imagine what would happen if we came out of the silos, right, and start working together. Everybody always talking about a village, but don't nobody really want to live in one, right? So if we're going to talk about being in the village, then we got to start learning how to live in the village together. I keep saying what's missing from our community is common unity, right? Too much talking, man. Too much, standing with your arms folded off to the side, mad about something, complaining about something, but not being willing to get in the game and do something about it. And then when you do get in the game, you want to tell everybody else what to do instead of doing what you do. If everybody does what they do best, it's nothing but a win-win situation, man. Y'all got to understand that. I might be back tomorrow night with Outlaw Nation. It depends on what comes down the news. It depends on how I feel. Sometimes I'm telling you, I just got to get on this microphone. It ain't no way around it. But you both know, if you want to jump on, you're welcome to jump on anytime.
For sure.
The show's on Monday through Thursday. Pick one or two. You don't got to watch all of them unless you want to. We got some people who rock with me on every night. Y'all know who y'all are. I'm trying to get this apparel going, so you all will be the first to receive that off top, just for, just as a thank you for showing support for all of this. Man, we doing big things, man. It's going to get greater later. You got to understand, man, either you part of the problem or you part of the solution. And you already know, if your criticism of my community outweighs your contribution to it, your ass is most definitely a coon. I might see y'all tomorrow night, man, depending on how I feel. Since I own the machine, I might turn it back on. Peace and love.